Does your bee suit play a role in you getting stung more? Being chased all over the yard and just having very defensive hives when you inspect them? Well, in today's video, I want to dive in and see if my suit's condition plays a role in getting chased all over the bee yard. This is something that I have had in my mind for quite a while, and that is why I decided to do this video. Was I wanted to find out what the research is, and does it really play a role? Does it matter whether your bee suit is being cleaned more often or not? If this is the first time that you are seeing my video, welcome. My name is Marnie. I am a beekeeper in the beautiful country of South Africa, home of the African honeybee. I started my beekeeping journey with just one bee colony that my dad bought me, and today I am boasting with over 50 hives made from this one hive and catching a couple of swarms, but most importantly, by perfecting the art of queen grafting. I decided to start this episode with some research, and then I will combine it with my own experience in the bee yard and what I have observed. For you guys that don't know, I wear an olive green bee suit, and the only reason why I made this choice was that I don't like the way the white suit stays and looks over time. Now, when I did my bee training, I was told that we only wear white suits as it is not advised to wash them regularly, and this is what causes the aggression and defensiveness in bees. Now, before you jump into my comment section, I do know the reason that we wear white suits is for evolutionary purposes for the bees. They are more accustomed to sting dark things like brown or black, and white is a color that they don't normally go after that. But I still wanted to understand this phenomenon because something happened to me a couple of weeks ago that triggered this thought process in my mind, and that is why I'm making this video, because I want to understand this, and maybe this can help you in your beekeeping journey. Well, the reality is I was not willing to face the dirt that gets all over the suit. I absolutely hate that gunk all over your suit. So although they said in the training that we wear the suit for less, so the bees don't sting us, and that's an evolutionary, I just couldn't get that picture out of my mind of this white suit with this dirt and gunk on it. So I was rather willing to face the stings than walk around with a white bee suit that just looks nasty. So before I give you my opinion on what I have observed, let's just go through some research. And so I've broken down the research into 4 sections. I'll go through each section with you guys, and then I'll also give you some advice on how to better maintain your bee suit, because I think it's something that a lot of beekeepers don't focus on, and there's not a lot of education around maintaining your bee suits. And I think your bee suit is one of the most important pieces of equipment you have, and it's important to take care of it. So let's see. So let's look at the benefits of washing your bee suits regularly. I broke the research into 4 sections, and each one I highlight the benefits of regular cleaning. So I went and weighed up the good to the bad. Now, number 1 is improved safety. So I looked at the safety factor of it. So the safety benefits that you will get is it removes the accumulated pheromones from the previous bee encounters, which could trigger defensive behavior from bees during future hive visits. And it reduces the risk of attracting aggressive bees who may be drawn to residual smells. I have found with my own hives that I sometimes have certain hives that just have these pesky little bees chasing me all over the place. They're just in my face the whole time. And this was something that was interesting to me. So did I do an experiment on washing my suit more regularly and whether the bees left me alone a lot more? Yes, I did, and that I will share it later on in the video. Now, number 2, the second thing that I looked at was health and hygiene. So from a health and hygiene perspective, is there a benefit of washing your suit more regularly and ensuring that it's clean and well taken care of? Well, number 1, it prevents the buildup of propolis, wax, and honey that can make the suit sticky, which, I mean, when you work a lot of hives and you constantly got your hive tool coming in and out of your pockets, everything just gets really sticky and it's awful, especially with bee removals. Bee removals, you are covered in sticky stuff. The second one is it removes potential allergens and bee venom residue. And this is an important part, which I'll share a little bit later in the video, why this triggered this idea of researching it. The next one is it eliminates bacteria and fungi that could grow in damp soiled fabric. This was an interesting one. And then it also prevents skin irritation from prolonged contact with dirty fabric. So this was an interesting one for me because I think we don't really look at it from a health and hygiene perspective. We're always looking at it from a bee perspective rather than us having to work in the suit. So from a health and hygiene perspective, we all know that a lot of the bee diseases comes from bacteria and fungi, and not maintaining your suit properly can actually cause you to transfer disease to your hives and making them sick, which is quite interesting. Now, number 3 is I looked at equipment longevity. So the benefits there is, regular cleaning prevents material degradation from accumulated substances. So it just helps your suit overall last longer. And it also helps to maintain the fabric's protective properties. So by taking care of your suit means the bees don't get through the suit as much, which was also pretty interesting. It extends the overall lifespan of the suit, which I think is important. It's a very expensive piece of equipment, and it also keeps your zippers and Velcro from closure, so it keeps it from functioning properly. Because that's one of the things I found with my suit is when I haven't washed it for a little while, my zips start to get sticky and it's difficult to close them. Where if I wash my suit on a regular basis, I actually have my zippers functioning a lot better. My suit does have metal zippers on, not plastic. And then the last factor I looked at is number 4 is comfort. So is there any benefit from a comfort perspective? Well, clean suits are more comfortable to wear, especially in the hot weather, because it is more breathable. It's not clogged up, it's not hard. It also removes sweat stains and odors. Odors is something very important because bees have a very good sense of smell. It also maintains the fabric's breathability, and it prevents stiffening of the material that can restrict movement and end up your suit getting stuck against your skin, and that's where the bees tend to sting you. So from these 4 viewpoints, I would say I looked at all the benefits. And I do think that there's a lot of more upside to regular cleaning of your bee suit and maintaining your bee suit properly. But then the next question that arose in my mind was, well, what is proper care of your bee suit? What should you be doing and what should you not be doing when it comes to cleaning your bee suit properly? Well, the next thing that I then researched is obviously the proper care of the bee suit, and this is what I found. So here is how to properly wash and maintain your beekeeper suit And this comes from a lot of research, taking different people's opinions, different blogs, different information together, and taking it and putting it together into one easy to follow system. So number one is pre-treatment. I think this is an important one. I know for the men that are on here now watching this thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to have to learn how to wash and use my washing machine properly? Well, you should be doing it beforehand. This shouldn't be the first time, but I'm going to give you guys some guidance. So for the guys on the video today, don't worry, we got you covered. It's very easy. I'm going to explain to you how to do it. So the pre-treatment is pretty much just removing any visible wax or propolis. So if you do have some propolis and wax on your suit, is to scrape it off and clean it off. But just be careful with what tool you're using, that you don't make holes or you damage the fabric. So the best one would be to scrape it with a dull knife. So a knife that is not as sharp, maybe a bread knife that you spread on your bread. Preferably just be careful. You might just, don't put it back, wash it properly. Well, propolis is not dangerous for us, so that's okay. So propolis will become liquid at about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, which was interesting. But the question then arose, 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, that's a pretty high temperature. So can you wash the bee suit at that temperature? And yeah, you can, as long as it's a gentle wash and you don't put the hot water directly onto the suit itself, that it's a lukewarm type of wash. So yes, most of the bee suits are okay with that type of temperature. Next thing that I found, which was really, really effective, is turn the bee suit inside out. That's a really, really good tip that I use to wash. If my bee suit is really, really dirty, I will then actually wash it front side up. I won't turn it inside out, but I found that turning your bee suit inside out does help. But with my specific bee suit, I'll explain why I don't always turn it inside out, because I found that if you keep turning it inside out, you don't get such an effective wash. So that's important. Check your tag on your bee suit just to make sure that you are following all the guidelines. The next thing is you want to check all of your pockets and make sure that there's no material left inside of your pocket, because that can damage the suit while you are washing. If you do have a detachable veil, then remove it and wash it separately. Mine cannot be detached, so I just zip up everything and I put it into the washing machine. Yes, I wash my suit in the washing machine. And then do a pre-treat if it has heavily soiled areas with a gentle stain remover. I also find just putting it in the washing machine, most washing machines have like a soaking functionality. Then I would soak my suit for about 2 hours before I wash it. And am I soaking it with soap or anything in that? No, just that lukewarm water I would use. Then I would just put it in some lukewarm water at about 60 to 70 degrees and just let it lie there in the washing machine for about an hour to 2 hours, just to loosen up everything before it starts washing. Now let's look at the washing instructions. So you can use cold or warm water, but never hot, as it can damage your protective properties. Normally any washing machine that does run water will first run the cold water and then the hot water, so you won't get that direct heat onto the suit, which is good. Select a gentle cycle. Never ever put it on a harsh cycle. Even from the spinning perspective, it is better sometimes to not even spin the suit at all, just to take it out of the washing machine and hang it onto a curtain. Select a gentle cycle. Then use a mild detergent without bleach and strong fragrances. I use Omo. I'll explain that just now, guys. And then wash the suit separately from other clothes. This is something I found that is so important. My suit is always washed separately by itself. Not only because it protects my suit, but it also protects the other clothes, because propolis is extremely sticky. Beeswax is sticky, it gets onto everything. So it's also great that, because after you've washed your suit, you need to also just rinse out your washing machine and clean it out. So the propolis and the wax and the stuff that it has been dissolved gets out of the system before you wash your next clothes, your normal clothes. And then remove the veil if it is detachable. And then wash your veil by hand. Now, I don't find my veil getting so dirty. It's it's more my physical suit, but sometimes the veil does get dirty. So what is the drying process? Well, air dry when possible. I find air drying is the best. Now hang it on a sturdy hanger, keep it out of direct sunlight to prevent UV damage, and never ever use the hot dryer or the tumble dryer. As high heat can damage the elastic component, weaken the protective properties, and the worst part, it can shrink it, which is something you don't want. A tight loose suit is going to get you stuck. So here's some basic maintenance tips that you can do on your suit is inspect the seams and zippers after each wash. I do that all the time. Make sure that everything's properly closed up, everything's still well. If I do find that there's something wrong with the suit, or maybe somewhere it's getting loose, I will take it to my tailor immediately to be fixed. Repair any small tears immediately. Store in a dry place, guys. Keep away from sharp objects, and have a backup suit when your main suit is being washed. This is very important to have more than one bee suit. I don't have more than one bee suit because I love my bee suit, but I think it is time for me to obtain another bee suit. So guys, just jump in the comments and say, just tell me which suit do you use, because I am looking for a different suit, maybe not the same brand as I'm using right now. So please tell me in the comment section, what suit are you using, which one is working, and then maybe I can just get the same suit that's working for you instead of me having to run around looking for another brand. I'm sure you guys have some really good options out there, so please drop it in the comment section and tell me what suit are you using and why do you love your suit so much. Then what is the frequency? This is the important part. What is the frequency of actually washing your suit? Should you wash it more? Should you wash it less? Well, this is what research tells me. You normally need to wash your suit between 4 to 5 uses in normal conditions. If it gets really dirty after every use, then wash it more regularly. You must wash it immediately after heavy use. Any time that there's a significant exposure to honey or propolis, or when there's noticeable odors developing. So that's the 4 that they recommend. Now for me, odors don't build up. I hate their stinky suits, so I will always wash it. So now it's time for my experience. What have I found, and what is my take on the research? Well, I have been using the suit for over 2.5 years, and I have not gotten stung more than other people wearing white suits. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I've worked with a lot of beekeepers, and I don't get stung more or less than them. It all comes down to, is at that moment, is the suit put inside somewhere that I accidentally pressed on a bee and it stung me. I didn't find any difference there. I have found that bees are more likely to interact with the white suits than with my olive green ones. So a lot of the times I will actually find that the bees are more likely to clunk onto the white suits than onto my suit itself, which was quite interesting. I do wash my suit every second week and after every bee removal. As I use Omo tablets, my basic washing machine tablets, and I don't use any fabric softener, and I do rinse my suit at least 2 to 3 times in the washing machine to make sure that all of that cleaning agent is completely out of it. So you must probably be asking yourself, okay Manny, but how do you do your suit? Well guys, this is how I do it. I simply just take my suit and let it lay flat on the table. I will then zip up all the parts of my suit, so I'll make sure that all the zips are closed. And then I don't do the whole rolling up, putting it in my veil type of thing. I just make sure that my entire suit is zipped up properly, and then I put it into my washing machine. From there, I just put it onto a gentle cycle. I make sure that it's a warm, lukewarm wash, and then once the machine is done, I simply hang it out to dry and coat it, and then fold it up for the next use. I'm pretty pedantic on the fold up, so I have a specific way of folding it up where I take the legs and I put it into the middle, and I would move my 2 arms into the middle of the suit, and then I will roll it up and stuff it into my veil. I'm pretty finicky about that. That's how I will always travel my suit, and I'll tell you why I do this is for damage or tears and stuff. I find that bee suit is something that a lot of people just throw in the back of their vehicle, and as beekeepers we have a lot of sharp objects we work with, we work with knives. Our hive tools are pretty sharp and can tear our bee suits. So I find that when you're done with it, just roll it up, put it in the veil, and pack it in the car. Then you know that when you move it or something drops on that, you're less likely to have any tears in it, which is a really good tip. So guys, that is it. I don't do anything special. Now, the important question that I wanted to answer for myself was, are the bees more aggressive towards my suit? And I don't believe so from my own experience. Does color really matter to the bees? I don't. I think a black suit might affect it, but I think bees are more susceptible to smell. So I think smell has a lot more to do with it than the color of the bee suit. What I have personally observed was how defensiveness can skyrocket when I work with an aggressive hive and have bee venom on my suit. So this is the encounter that I had that I want to explain to you guys. And then go and work with my bees. I've realized that if I have a lot of bee venom on my suit, there's a lot more aggressive or defensive behavior happening in my hives. But let me give you guys an example of what I observed. So I'm going to give you a real life account of what happened and what triggered this video. So I did a bee removal for a client in a wall. And then I left the box there overnight to give the bees some time to move in because it was a fairly large hive. And since I don't use a bee vacuum, I prefer for the bees to just do their thing. I'm all for the bees doing their own thing. And I was then called to go and help a fellow beekeeper requeen his very aggressive hive, like crazy aggressive. It's mad how aggressive that hive was. And the bees literally coated my suit all over, and they were stinging and they were trying to get through the suit. So it was one of those inspections where you can literally smell the venom. It's like it's so hectic that it makes you nauseous. And it wasn't as if we even inspected this hive did this whole process during the day. We did it during night, and they were that defensive during night. And because I worked until late at night, I didn't have time to clean my suit because the next morning I had to go and remove the hive, as the owner wasn't going to be there for the whole day, well, for a couple of days. So I then jumped in the car, put on the suit, went to go and get these bees. Now, this was the interesting observation. The day before, when I worked with these bees, they were the cutest little things. They were not on top of me. They were relaxed. They were not aggressive at all. It was so much fun. I was scooping them up with my glove. I had no stings on me at all. It was just a pleasure working with them. But when I got back to them the next day with the suit covered in the bee venom, these bees were not the same. The bees were literally coming out. Even after I smoked them, they were coming out with an aggressive tendency. They were on top of my suit. They were in front of my veil. You could see that they were having this defensive response. And this got me thinking, what? Because I really went there like early at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was still dark. So it wasn't as if these bees, it was daylight and they were flying around. It was literally, they just had this huge response to it. And this is when I thought to myself, does the bee venom really on our suits play a massive role in us getting stung? And our bees reacting to the smells that they're getting? And I think it does. Now, this is based on my own experience, guys. Not saying that this isn't based on research, and that this is just my own experience, what I've observed. And since that experience, I have increased the frequency of washing my suit and keeping my tools and equipment free from bee venom. I don't have extremely defensive hives, and something that came to my mind while I was doing this video is how sensitive bees are to smell and the trauma response. We know that bees can smell really, really well, and we do know that bees do have memories and they can recognize us and they do have trauma responses. So if you associate that and you take that into consideration, so when you do go into your beehive and your bees start to associate you with stressors and has a negative experience with you every time you interact with them, can cause defensiveness because they can remember what you do. That's why it's so important that when you work with your bees, you are gentle and nice and move slow. And again, this is just my opinion. It's not based on research, but bees can smell you and they can see you. Just keep this for food for thought in the future. So, what is my conclusion on this? Keep your bee suit clean. Wash it more regularly, take proper care of it, and it's going to protect you and it's going to serve you instead of it just walking around looking like, like gunk, really. I can't handle these suits that are completely black in the front with the propolis really, you got a washing machine, go wash the thing. So it's one of the most expensive pieces of equipment you have. So take care of it, wash it properly, and research supports it. Research supports the fact that you should clean it properly, get all that venom. It's also great to wash it properly to keep things like bacteria buildup, fungi buildup, which can end up in your hive, and you can end up hurting your hive with dirty tools and equipment. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is helping you out in your own beekeeping journey, and it's going to help you to maintain your suit a lot better and take care of it properly and make sure that your suit is serving you to the best of its abilities. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps a small channel like mine grow, because that's my focus point. I want to reach more beekeepers and I want to inspire more people to get into beekeeping because it's freaking awesome. And also hit that subscribe button, become part of the community. And if you are a beekeeper and you are looking for a community of like-minded beekeepers that are growing together, then please check out my new Beekeepers Club that I have created. You get to join in with all the fun that we have, and we have a lot of fun. You get access to all of my training programs. You get access to all of the resources that I use. So if you are a beginner beekeeper, maybe you've been in it for a while, or you're just looking for like-minded people, then that's also a great way to join it. But hop onto my website, go check out our Beekeepers Club. I do lives every single week where I answer questions. I interact with you guys. If you guys got any problems, I help you out. And this is not only for just my local community of South Africa. I do believe I can add benefit to a lot of international clients, because bees are bees. And if you've worked with the African honeybee, you can work with any other bee. So guys, please check out the link. Go check it out on the website and come and join us. I also do a live hive inspection every week for the beginner guys, to really get them going and understand what to look for, how to look for it. So there's a lot of things you guys will see on the website. There's a lot of things that I offer you guys as a community, and I would love for you to be part of it. So guys, thank you so much for joining me in the video, and as always, it's wonderful to have spent this time with you, and I appreciate every single viewer on my channel. You are like family, and I will see you guys in the next video. And as we always say here at Stain Honey Farms, have a bee-rific day. Bye bye.